Hey guys, welcome to my very first YouTube video. So typically every Sunday on my Instagram story, I post macro-friendly recipes and I share that with you. But because those stories only last 24 hours, a lot of people were giving me some requests and making a YouTube video. That way they can go back and refer to these videos in the future. So for the first recipe that I want to share with you guys is a baked sweet potato fry recipe. I hope you guys enjoy it. So as I was at the grocery store shopping for the ingredients for this recipe, I was in the produce section and I'm like, okay, is this a yam or is it a sweet potato? So I did a little bit of research and I found what we in the US label as a yam isn't really a yam. Sorry guys, my camera died, so now I'm using my iPhone. So, sorry, I'm very distracted with my horrible tan situation that's going on. I just competed and I'm 2 weeks, out of my show. And yeah, it's just horrible. So, what was I saying? Okay, so what we call a yam here in the US is actually not a yam, it's a sweet potato. And there are different types of sweet potatoes. There is that typical sweet potato that we're used to seeing on Thanksgiving Day or when we're looking at Carl's Jr. commercial sweet potato fries, that orange sweet potato. So that's a soft sweet potato. And it's called a soft sweet potato because when you cook it, it has more of a fluffier, moist, soft texture versus a firm sweet potato, which is the ones that are white. Those ones cook more firmly and hold a little bit more together. You know what I mean? So that's the difference between yams and sweet potatoes. Yams are actually, I guess they're purple inside. Crazy. So that's enough of my babbling. Now we're gonna go ahead and get to our recipe. Hope you guys enjoy. Happy Sunday, guys. So for this Sunday's recipe, we are going to make some baked sweet potato fries. It's a very easy recipe. All you need for this is a sweet potato, some type of cooking spray, and a baking tray. And that's it. Alright, so the first thing you're going to do with your sweet potato is you're going to cut it into sections, and then from there we're going to cut it into smaller sections to make whatever size fry that you guys enjoy. So I'm going to cut this section here off, and I'll cut this section here off. And then this is a gigantic sweet potato, so I'm just going to break it up into smaller sections, and then from there I'm going to go ahead and cut my fries. So here is how I typically like my fries. I like them around this thickness. You can cut it any size you want. But yeah, this is how I like my fries. I'm going to zoom in. It might be out of focus, but there we go. So I'm going to continue cutting up these fries, and then all I'm going to do is throw them in a baking sheet, spray some oil on it, and then throw it in the oven. So while I labor away, what's the difference between potatoes and sweet potatoes? In a comparison with the same size servings, sweet potatoes and potatoes are very similar in calories, fat, protein, and carbohydrates. Looking at fiber and potassium, sweet potatoes are slightly higher in fiber, while potatoes are slightly higher in potassium. Looking at our daily value of vitamins, sweet potatoes are richer in vitamin A, vitamin C, and slightly higher in vitamin B6. So here they are. So now that our fries are all cut up, all we are going to do is we're going to grab a baking sheet. I don't have a cookie sheet. I need to invest in one, but all we need to do is get a baking sheet, and I like to use aluminum foil. That way I don't have to spend so much time scrubbing this to clean it. I just throw away the aluminum sheet and then I'm done. Okay, so I'm gonna get my aluminum foil And I'm going to line my aluminum foil in my baking sheet. Here we go. And I place it in here. It doesn't need to be pretty. All right, so next you're just gonna grab some cooking spray and you're gonna spray it onto your aluminum foil, just like that. And you're gonna grab your fries and just spread it out among the cooking sheet. I'm definitely gonna need more than one sheet. So that took about 2.5 baking sheets, but make sure that they are spread out. That way, we don't want them layered on top of each other. We want them spread out. That way they can be cooked evenly and they can become a little bit more crispy rather than soggy. Next, you're gonna grab some more of your cooking spray and you're just gonna quickly just spray your fries, and then there we're gonna add some seasoning. Okay, so let's go ahead and start seasoning. For the seasoning, I like to just add a sprinkle of salt and some cinnamon. What I typically do is I just put a little handful of salt, and I just sprinkle it on like so. Sorry, I'm not good at multitasking. Speaking and doing is very difficult. I'm just kidding. All right, so let's add a little more. And now for the cinnamon. I love cinnamon. I put cinnamon on just about anything. All right, so we're done with the seasoning. So let me show you how this looks. All right. Gently seasoned with salt and cinnamon. That looks wonderful. And that's about it. So next what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take our trays and put them in the oven. I did set my oven to preheat at 400 degrees. And from there, we're just gonna let them bake in there for about 25 to 30 minutes. And then we're gonna switch it on to broil for about five minutes so it crisps the top. So now our sweet potatoes have been baking for about 25 to 30 minutes. What I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna switch my setting on my oven to broil. That way the top of our fries will be nice and crispy. So here is the final product.